Right, we are live and ready for one of the final few games of this season, but still a lot to happen this season as Hull City are taking on Sheffield United away at Bramall Lane, a 3 o'clock kickoff. So we're just under 15 minutes away from the first ball being kicked in what is the fifth final game of the season. We're quick maths. 3 more games. Am I blanking on that? Just let me do some quick maths. 4 games. So, yeah, 3 after this. I think. Hello there, he's back on the live. I am most certainly. Big game today away at Bramall Lane, hoping for 3 points, considering that Ipswich Town won earlier on today. So to put us even more into that race of a possible push for a second place, but even more so to keep us solidified in these playoff places. So we've got a game today. Then we have got next weekend at home to Birmingham City. We also have away at Leicester on the Tuesday. Then after that, away at Charlton and then home to Norwich. So 4 games after this. This is our 5th to last game of the season. Hello there, my brother friend. How are you? I'm doing well. I hope that you are doing well also and ready for a bit of Hull City Championship action. Away at Bramall Lane, taking on the Blades, Sheffield United. So let's quickly run through both teams prior to kick-off. Of course, Hull City have got some former Sheffield United players within their squad, so we'll go through that in a second. But we'll first of all start off with Sheffield United's starting lineup. Looks like they're going to go for the 4-2-3-1, a little bit similar to Hull City, with that back 4 being Siriki, Tanganga, McGuinness and Burrows completing that back 4. Ahead of them, it's Peck and Rothwell as them holding midfielders. Brooks, O'Hare and Harmer up there, with Patrick Bamford leading the line for Sheffield United. Their bench consists of Arblasters, Arblaster, there's not multiple, there is one Arblaster, Hedgeld, Binden, Cannon, Ings, Hoover, Chong, Faxon and Riderwald. And then Hull City's lineup is a few little tweaks and alters from that team that put out a stellar performance midweek at the MKM Stadium against Coventry City. And so that is Ivor Panda in between the sticks. Ahead of them, it's Louis Curl, John Egan, Semir Jai and Cody Drama. Ahead of that, it's Amir Hazai Metrovic and the former Sheffield United player John Lundstrom. I should also mention John Egan, a former Sheffield United player as well. Ahead of that, it's Liam Miller out on the left, Mohamed Baloumi out on the right, Matt Crooks coming through the midfield with the former Sheffield United man Ollie McBurney leading the line, which means on the bench, Hull City have quite a strong bench today, all things considering. Of course, Dylan Phillips is the substitute keeper. Charlie Hughes is on the bench. We now know really why Hughes' game time has dwindled and he's maybe being a bit more tentative to being put into action. And he's apparently got a double hernia, I believe. He's currently playing through and they're up in the air whether he needs to have surgery in the summertime ahead of next season. Of course, Charlie Hughes, wherever he might be next season, he might be a Hull City player, might be a Hull City player in the Premier League, in the Championship, he might be elsewhere, who knows really. The sky's the limit for Charlie Hughes and there seems to be a bit of a dampener down on things, maybe in the benefit of Hull City, but who knows really. Matty Jacobs also on the bench with Joe Gelhart, another big name on the bench there, just dropped out the squad in place of Matt Crooks, I believe, this time out, or Mohamed Baloumi, one of the two came in for him. Kyle Joseph, Darko JB, Kieran Dowell, of course, another former Sheffield United player, Paddy McNair and Cahill McCarthy. So that completes Hull City's bench out here as they look to try and pick up 3 points on the road, continue this brilliant away form that they have had this season. Where if we go into the Championship table, we go into away standings. Hull City sit 4th, of course, a few dodgy results here and there, but they are only 3 points off first place Millwall in the away table of the Championship, and of course Millwall have got an extra game played than Hull City away in the Championship, so it's yeah, Hull City are one of the best away teams in the Championship, if not the best away team in the Championship when all things are said and done this season. But they do currently sit overall in the table 5th placed. They have got Middlesbrough, the team just ahead of them on 72 points, so cannot overtake them today. But we do have the likes of Southampton and also Wrexham now out of the playoff places, still breathing down our necks. Wrexham on 64 points, so they in theory could not even in theory, they just cannot overtake us today. But Southampton, I should say, can do so with a win wherever they are playing today. And of course, Southampton also have a game in hand as well, so really need to bulk up the points here today with 3 points on the road at Sheffield United. Head of Hull City in the table, though, is, as I said, Middlesbrough at 72 points in 4th. In 3rd, it's Millwall with 73. Ipswich with 2 games in hand now that they have finished up their game of the day on 75 points. And then leading the line, Coventry City, 85 points. They can, in theory, win the league today, I believe, with a win at home to Sheffield Wednesday, I believe they are. I believe so. If they don't win it today, they probably will win it next weekend. So, yeah, all things are pretty much set and done in 1st place at the table. It's presumably going to be Ipswich for 2nd place. Of course, they do have the 2 games in hand, which is a massive sway in things as well, and already commanding into that spot. Of course, depending on how Middlesbrough do today, they can maybe come biting back in with a chance, but still they would not be able to get back into 2nd place today unless they have a mammoth goal scoring game and score 10 plus goals today. So yeah, it seems like the top 2 is almost all but set this season, but it's all about this other playoff places, the 3rd through 6th places, and really Hull City trying to keep in the battle, pushing out either Wrexham, Southampton, and maybe even Derby if they want to try and bolster up things and get back into the ranks. But the home results on Monday night, not usually on Monday night. The home result on Monday night should be something of a positive. Of course, I think the way that Hull City played is more of the positive rather than the result itself. Of course, you'll be looking for 3 points against top of the table Coventry City. Maybe not so. A 0-0 draw is very, very good on paper, but in the current situation of things, 3 points would have been even better. And also, I think the result that we put out there, the team that we put out there, what they were playing against and what they were doing with the ball, the shape that it was getting into, they looked like the better side on the day. Hopefully that continues through these final 5 games of the season. Of course, 4 after today as they face off against Sheffield United. A Sheffield United side who, in their own right, they are probably not going to be in this relegation battle. They're sitting 10 points clear of the relegation zone and in 17th place. So they are probably going to be safe this season, but have had a very, very lackluster season for themselves this year. So hopefully we can put even more of a dampener down on things for Sheffield United. Kickoff is 7 minutes away now. Need a win? I feel like we do need a win today, especially we want to be commanding our place coming into the final few games of the season. So let me put out a poll, I should say. I'm getting my words muddled up already today. Poll into the chat, of course, as we always do. See who you think will win this game. And this will be in the chat until a bit into half time. So you do have a little bit of time to put your votes in. Oh, can't even type. Can't speak. Can't type. What can I do? Okay. If you think Sheffield United are going to win, you might be in the wrong place. But we accept all here. We accept all here. Of course, there is a possibility of a draw. And then even more a possibility of a Hull City win. There we go. That poll will be in the chat now up until half time. So get your votes in on the poll in the chat based on who you think will win today's game. What we're all saying, need a win, definitely do. Think 2-1 Hull. You think 2-1 Hull? I'm going for a cheeky 3-1 win. I think we might have our number at Bramall Lane once again, similar to how we have done in the past meetings. Oh, Mexico Rolls, thank you very much for the donation. We need the points. Our goal difference scares me coming towards the end, but here would be gutted to tie on points and stay out due to goal difference. Certainly would. That is a big factor to say that last season we stayed up on our goal difference on final day, and then if it was this season that we miss out on playoffs based on our goal difference, well, that'll be a big shocker and a big upsetter for Hull City. Of course, goal difference wise, there is a possibility we can claw it back, of course, if Wrexham get in the fight. We're currently tied. Same goal difference, actually. Same goals scored and same goals conceded as Wrexham in the Championship this season. +5 is our goal difference, currently standing as things. Southampton, who are currently just behind us, are a +19. So maybe a big win today, and we could probably have a few good results in a row. Can maybe help bolster that. I think it might be a bit too late for the goal difference-wise to really get that into place. But points are even more important than the goal difference. I think the 3 points today are even more important than goal difference. But of course, the goal difference comes with winning and big wins alongside that. It's to go and buy yourself a pint on celebration. I'll be pre-ordering my pint now, ready for Hull City's 3 points. That's how positive we are around here. 4-0 Hull. Love the enthusiasm, Thomas. Dodo plays for Fortuna. Dodo for short. Does he now? Lovely stuff. Does Hughes not need surgery? I think they're up in the air about it. The probability is that he will have surgery, but I think they're just resting him for the time being, and then going to be evaluating that fully in the off season. When that comes for Hull City, of course, with the likelihood now of being playoffs, Hull City's season will probably extend past final day. But of course, nothing's guaranteed as of yet. I think he opted out of it. Oh, lovely stuff. What do you think Bamford score? What do you think the Bradford score will be? Not Bamford, he's playing the game. What do you think the Bradford score will be? When my friend, we're at home to Stevenage. Well, I think you like to do the number over Stevenage. So I got 2-1 Bradford. 2-1 Bradford. There you are. But all eyes turn towards today's big clash. That being Sheffield United, Hull City. Hull City coming out in their blue third shirt. Can have a bit of a resemblance of a Wetherspoons dinner plate, but nevertheless, they're out at Bramall Lane. It's 3 former Sheffield United players in the squad, or in the starting 11, I should say, for Hull City. 4 former Sheffield United players in the squad entirely, with Kieran Dowell on the bench, of course, a former Sheffield United player. And could possibly have had 5, I believe, if the likes of Regan Slater was fit and ready to go. So your former Sheffield United players to keep an eye on: John Egan, John Lundstrom and Ollie McBurney. Of course, John Lundstrom, he was on a bit of a brilliant little first 20 minutes, I believe, last time out against Sheffield United at the MKM Stadium earlier on this season in the reverse fixture, and then got injured, and that was what that little spell put him out for a little bit of time earlier on this season. So hopefully we do not have a repeat of that in this game, and all the former Sheffield United players playing in this one do come through scot-free. Of course, Hull City managed to pick up a 1-0 win at the MKM Stadium earlier on this season against Sheffield United, and managed to pick up the 3 points and 3 goals away at Bramall Lane last season. A big result that was. I mean, if Hull City didn't pick up that 3-0 win then, they would be talking about a League One side now, rather than a side that are on the possible cusps of getting promotion to the Premier League. But of course, a long battle to get there. 5 games, including this one, then a possible playoff berth to happen for Hull City. But the points still need to come in for Hull City, with teams breathing down their necks. So it's Hull City to take on Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Come on indeed. Let's all hear your predictions in the chat. Of course, click on the poll before half-time to let me know who you think will win this game, or if you think it might be a cheeky draw. Of course, we're all optimistic for the win, and I think the win is most needed for Hull City here today away at Bramall Lane. Of course, Hull City's away form has been brilliant, and Sheffield United haven't been doing too well this season. Of course, Sheffield United coming off a 1-0 loss to Bristol City last time out for them. Hull City coming off a 0-0 draw against the league leaders and soon-to-be league champions, Coventry City, at the MKM Stadium. Fun note about Hull and Coventry City. Going into that game, both teams were... Coventry was first, Hull was second in most goals in their own games in this entire season. I think Coventry had 126, Hull had 120. And even better to say that Hull City were one of 2 teams to not let Coventry City score against them at all in the 2 fixtures they've played against us this season. Ipswich Town were the other one to keep clean sheets in both fixtures against the soon-to-be league winners. So, hopefully Hull City's defence can pull out another blinder here today and the attack can get involved and get going to have a little bit of a party away at Sheffield, the Steel City, to get 3 points away at Bramall Lane. We're just getting ready ahead of kickoff. It is 3 o'clock now and the ball will be getting kicked underway. It looks like Sheffield United will be getting us going away at Bramall Lane. So Hull City in the blue, Sheffield United of course in the famous red and white stripes. And Sheffield United get it underway, kicking it all the way back towards their goalkeeper Davies. He sends it far up the right-hand side, and it's going to be trying to get headed back into play. Doesn't quite manage to do so for Sheffield United, and so Louis Kyle over in that left-back position, wearing the captain's armband, has himself an early throw-in. Just gesturing his players upfield, so he's going to go down the line with that throw-in. It's headed in by Harmer for Sheffield United. Forward again by City to Ollie McBurney. McBurney switching out to this right-hand side to Mohamed Baloumi. He's charging on, got a little bit of space ahead of him. Into the box now, curling on his left foot. He's going to try and dink it for a shot. Back on the left foot, and it goes over the crossbar. It takes a deflection on its way, so it's going to be a corner within this first minute for Hull City. Looks like Mohamed Baloumi will be taking this one. So Mohamed Baloumi there, got the deflection off Burrows, I believe there it was, for that to go behind for the corner. So Hull City putting a bit of pressure on early stages. 1 minute into this one, Mohamed Baloumi taking the corner in from this near-hand side. Swings it in, low driven, headed away there by Sheffield United. Drama will be the first one out to it, but it'll be out of play anyway for a throw-in. He's going to take it here just in front of Chris Wilder and his technical area. Of course, Sheffield United, who started the season without Chris Wilder, they had former Hull City manager Ruben Sayers leading the line. He had an absolutely horrid start. Oh, John Egan, he saw his name in dazzling lights. About 35 yards out, the ball was coming chopping towards him, and he decided to try and take it a bit on a volley. He was off balance, the ball was a little bit behind him as well, and that one maybe could have spelled disaster for him, but still, got the volley off, wasn't nowhere near on target, instead went behind for a goal kick. But he saw his names in lights. Can't fault him 1 minute in a bit of open area. Ball with McBurney again, though, off the back of that goal kick from Sheffield United. Mohamed Baloumi has it on this right-hand side here. He's going to try and switch play over towards Liam Miller on that left-hand side. Miller picks it up, going forwards on that left-hand side now, looking to switch one in, does so, in towards McBurney, headed away there by Sheffield United, and away again by the Blades. On it is Amir Hazayemetrovic. He has a bit of pressure on his back, but then does get the ball all the way back to Semir Jai. Up forwards now to Cody Drammer. Not a good touch, Hammer breathing down his neck, but Drammer does well to unleash it. And that ball goes out of play there. Sheffield United, Burrows with the throw in here on this near-hand side. Goes forwards, up towards Callum O'Hare. O'Hare taken down by Amir Hazayemetrovic, and that's going to be a free kick for Sheffield United inside of the Hull City half. Hammer will take it, sending it over towards Rothwell. Referee's just going to blow it up. I don't think he was ready for it. Referee looks a little bit done already, 3 minutes into this one. The sun seems to have just shone out, though, at Bramall Lane. It was a little bit of a cloudier day earlier on today, but, I mean, even here in Hull, it is a bit more of a sunnier one. So Sheffield United's going to be taking up for a bit more of a better free kick now that they have had the retake from the referee. Both Hammer and Burrow sending over it. Hammer winging it into the box. Away by Hull City, not really done so. Callum O'Hare tries it again inside the box. It's again by Sheffield United. And that one's just off target, but still saved nonetheless by Ivor Panda. And it was McGuinness there with the half-arsed shot from outside of the area. I believe it might have taken a deflection from John Egan. So it's quite well that Ivor Panda managed to pull across for the diving stop there. Just bowled out by the Sheffield United goalkeeper up towards Peck. He's looking for a bit of a chop and change over to the right-hand side. And so coming forwards on this left-hand side, Liam Miller towards Ollie McBurney. Ollie City on his former ground, his former home. He chooses to not celebrate against his former side, but the City boys around him will give a few fist pumps in delight as it's 4 minutes in and 1-0 Hull City in a big game to try and grab themselves 3 points to cement themselves even further in these playoff places. And Ollie McBurney, with the no celebration, pounces to make himself the now leading Hull City goal scorer this season in the Championship. There we go. Ollie McBurney with the goal. 1-0 Hull City. Let's go. Up the Tigers indeed. There we go. Some questions were flying McBurney's way, saying that he hasn't done too much in recency. If recency is a word. But he has done something now. McBurney scored 1-0. Come on, let's go. Up the Tigers indeed. What were we saying? Obviously, Hughes is our best player, but he's a liability recently. Whether the liability case is due to the injury, we're not really sure. Of course, Hughes is a cracking player, will have a cracking future, whether that is at Hull City, whether that is further beyond and to new heights in the Premier League, who knows. But hope that all things are well. Of course, the possibility of needing surgery, Hull City not wanting to risk him unless it's a desperate case scenario, like if this game stays 1-0 through to the second half and we're going into the 80th minute, could maybe see Hughes coming on to try and form a back five and maybe even a back six if Hull City are really battling hard. But it's Code Drama getting forwards once again here for Hull City. Outwards to Mohamed Baloumi, winging it in towards Matt Crooks. Couldn't quite get enough of a header on. Glances it over towards that left-hand side. Kyle going in chase. So is Lundstrom. But it's going forwards by Sheffield United up towards Rothwell. It's taken down, though, by John Egan. He lays it forward towards Liam Miller. Miller out wide to Kyle. Kyle's swinging corner, swinging cross, that's the word I'm looking for, is blocked and sent out by Sariki. I think I've even forgot to have a sip out of my Hull City mug glass for good luck, but it looks like we didn't need it so far. But I will not err on the side of hope and faith there. Miller trying to take the ball into the box. Taking down is Sareki in the process. But Miller showing a little bit of that fancy footwork. Hopefully that he can get things going and get firing. Hasn't looked $1 million since coming back from that injury about halfway through the season. But a good time to turn things on now. Building up a bit of momentum for these final 5 games. And then taking that momentum into the possibility of this playoff push, this playoff berth that Hull City are tempting fate with at the moment. Sheffield United just playing a couple of 1-2s. Getting it forwards to Burrows down this left-hand side. He maybe tried the shot himself. Met the outside of the side netting here on this left-hand side for Sheffield United. So 7.5 minutes into this one. It's been a little bit of action at both ends. Hull City, of course, have capitalised on their own efforts, being 1-0 ahead in this one away at Bramall Lane. Of course, as I said prior to kick-off, the 3 points would not see Hull City progress any higher in the table, but the lack thereof 3 points could see them drop in the table. Only down to 6th place, but still, with teams around them, games in hand, and anything can really happen in these final 5 games. 3 points, you take them right now, wouldn't you? Ball falls by Ivor Panda. It's flicked on by Ollie McBurney to Matt Crooks. He's got 2 Sheffield United players around him, and so the Sheffield United player that picks up the ball is Sareki, and he's going to go down to the deck with a little bit of challenge on the back by Matt Crooks. It's a little bit of a light of a challenge to gain a free kick from, but still the referee has given it. Ball forwards, goes all the way forwards to Patrick Bamford. Sheffield United players now in support. Peck from the edge of the D tries a shot, deflected off Semi Ajayi, hoofed away by John Lundstrom, up towards Matt Crooks. Crooks goes in a 50-50 header challenge there, just doesn't come up the right smarts of it, and it comes out now to the left-hand side to Gustavo Harmer. Baloumi picks up off the errant ball by Hammer. He gets a 1-2 going and unleashed down this right-hand side. He just pulls up things with some Sheffield United players coming in support. Matt Crooks gets a beautiful fed-through ball on this right-hand side. He's not going to be looking to send anything ambitiously in towards the box. Instead, going to go back towards Drama. Amihar Zayametrovic now inside of the Sheffield United half. Couple of cheeky 1-2s being passed between Hull City around the Sheffield United players. They are going to eventually go for the switch over from the shadows on this near-hand side to the sun on that far-hand side with Liam Miller. Miller swings one into the box, looking for Matt Crooks's head, doesn't quite get it. Oh, and it was nearly destiny for John Lundstrom. What a strike that would have been if it went into the back of the net. It was called for offside, presumably on a player blocking a goalkeeper's point of view. But John Lundstrom gets one, I believe it was on the full volley, and this one he met even cleaner than the one he got a bit earlier on in the game. Struck it straight at the goalkeeper. Offside call was pulled up. Free kick from Sheffield United allowed them to release the ball forwards, and has now got themselves a free kick over on that, throw-in on that far-hand side. But John Lundstrom was trying to get in on the party of former Sheffield United players scoring here at Bramall Lane. Matt Crooks, once again, he's unleashed down this left-hand side. Looking for a through ball for Liam Miller. Doesn't quite get it. Ball just goes beyond Liam Miller. And he's taken down to the deck there by Sareki, I believe it was. Inside the penalty area. Referee says no foul, because I believe the ball was beyond Liam Miller anyway, so there was no chance of him picking that ball up. Apologies, it was Tanganga who took the foul there. But referee says no penalty whatsoever. Harman now has it leashing forwards inside of the Hull City penalty area. He's gone down now. Ref says no penalty there once again. Coming down this right-hand side, Mohamed Baloumi whipping one forward towards Ollie McBurney. Had a bit too much whip on that ball, and instead went all the way back towards Davies, the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Peck now has it moving forwards off the back of McGuinness towards Burrows on this left-hand side. Then picks up is Brooks. McGuinness over towards Tanganga, the Sheffield United captain, out wide towards Sareki. Sareki in a bit of chase by a few Hull City players in that blue shirt. Not fully sure why Hull City couldn't play in their home shirt for this one. Maybe the shorts would have clashed. But anyway, they've gone for the third shirt, and Mohamed Baloumi, wearing that third shirt, has just fouled Brooks, I believe it was, there quite deep inside of Hull City's half on this near left-hand side. Just had a little bit too much of his shirt and then took a whack at his left ankle. No card or whatsoever picked up there, but it is a decent chance for Sheffield United to whip one into the area now. Hammer and Burrows standing over it. There's about 5 or 6 Sheffield United players in the box. Swung in right on top of Ivo Pandey. He's going to have to punch it behind for a corner kick. And so another cross to come in now, this time from the corner flag. And also to have another chance to defend themselves once again. I mean, if Hull City are going to make that last-minute push to try and improve their goal difference, a clean sheet would be the best way to go about it here. And also picking up a few goals along the way. They've already picked one up in this one, 12.5 minutes in, and Hull City lead 1-0. Sheffield United with Gustavo Harmer to swing this corner in. Out on that far-hand side. Once again, 5 players lingering in the box for Sheffield United. They're going to go short for the corner. And they're going to send it all the way over towards Rothwell. Swinging it in towards Brooks at the back post. Egan with a glancing header. Flicks it out wide. And then he does well to keep the ball in play. Feeding it forwards down the line towards Mohamed Baloumi. Baloumi takes a stumble. And that just allows Sheffield United to recover. McBurney does well to recover off the back of that. Sending one out wide over towards Liam Miller on the far hand side. He's got a few players ahead of him. He's going to take the shot himself from range. Oh, that wasn't a million miles over the top. Liam Miller from about 35 yards out, I want to say, took a shot. And if it just had a little bit more dip in it, that would have found the top right corner. Do not mind it whatsoever from Liam Miller. Looking to try and get himself back on track for these final few games of the season. The goal kick forward from Sheffield United has eventually found its way to unleash Callum O'Hare on Ivo Panda, but Ivo Panda does well to come out and collect that ball himself. Just assessing his options before Ivo Panda decides to go short. As Hull City going to pass it around that back line a little bit to try and build up a bit more momentum. An errant pass going forwards has ended up all the way back with Davies for Sheffield United. So Hull City currently 1-0 ahead through former Sheffield United player Ollie McBurnie scoring. McBurney's had a habit of scoring against his former teams this season at their places. Did it at Swansea City as well. Elected not to celebrate there as well. All we need now is Hull City to have a magical game against... where was he just? Las Palmas. I just had blank on where we picked up Ollie McBurney from. Of course, he's possibly one of the, if not the signing of the season in the entire championship. Being a free transfer to Hull City. He's a name within a running for the Golden Boot race in the championship. Probably not going to get it because Zan Vipotnik has been that much better than everyone else. I believe he's sitting on about 20 goals, maybe a bit more now. But McBurney, I believe that was his 14th of the season in the league. Of course, is up to 15 now in all competitions. Really, really nicely read there by Hull City to pick up an interception in the midfield by Liam Miller. Miller's had quite a nice little start to this game. Outside the box, lays off John Lundstrom, coming in. Cleared away there by Sheffield United. And it's going to be a throw-in over on that far-hand side. Coyle looking to take it. Ref's just going to hold it up there just because Cody Drammer's down. Looks like holding his leg. Oh dear, the physios are going to have to come on for this one. It's something up with his left leg. He's rubbing, maybe, I think it might be his hamstring. Might be his knee joint. We'll just see what the physios are going to do here. Of course, this isn't best case scenario, Cody Drammer going down. It is a little bit better now that we do have Matty Jacob back on the bench. Of course, after his little bit of injury. And Ryan Giles isn't that far away from a return to the Hull City squad, I'm being told. Doesn't seem like we saw anything that actually happened to cause whatever this little injury problem is with Cody Drammer. He just went down to the deck as the ball was on the other side. Going to receive a bit more treatment on the floor. We'll have a little look in a second, see if Hull City are going to be warming anyone up, ready to come on in replace of Cody Drammer. Of course, certainly do not want to be risking anyone at this late stage of the season, with some big games to come. Of course, none bigger than possible playoff games for Hull City. So, I mean, we'll have a quick glance at the bench and see who's in the possible runnings to come on here for Hull City. Of course, you have a maybe chance of bringing on Charlie Hughes and moving someone into that left back or right back position. Of course, Matty Jacob can come on, play left back. He could also put Liam Miller at left back, although I really wouldn't want to do so because he seems to be doing quite well so far on that left wing. Has had two quite good moments looking on goal. It looks like Cody Drammer might continue. He's walking off under his own gusto. Of course, has to spend 30 seconds on the sideline if he is going to be reintroduced. The physio is just clearing way now. There's a little bit of tentativeness on those walk-off, but it looks like he is going to continue, Cody Drammer. Don't think there was anyone... They are going to get the substitution board ready. Drammer's saying that he's ready to go, and he wants to keep on going, but it looks like they're going to have a substitution ready, so we'll see what the station is with that. What was the McBurney goal like? It was a ball fed through from... Is it Liam Miller? To McBurney, and then within the 6-yard box, just slotted it past Davies. Your typical Ollie McBurney goal, we'll say. So it looks like Paddy McNair is going to be the player to try and come on for Cody Drammer. Drammer is back on the field now, going. Oh, he's not back on the field yet, sorry. So Hull City are currently got a free kick over on that far hand side. Just playing down a man. And we'll see what the situation is here with Drama and Paddy McNair. So Drama is actually going to come off. Paddy McNair coming on. So we'll see what the change-up of the defensive alignment is. Of course, in theory, that is 3 centre-halves on for Hull City at the moment with no possible right-back or left-back, depending on where Louis Curle's going to shift to. But swung in there by Hull City. A glancing, diving header there by Matt Crooks. That's going to be well wide. And so now we'll get a little bit of a chance to have a look at Hull City's defensive lineup now. And see how that changes things. Of course, we'll wish Cody Drama the best case, and hopefully it's nothing too serious in his injury. So it's going to be Louis Curle's going to come over to the right back place. And it looks like Paddy McNair is going to be playing at left back with John Egan, the other John, the other former Sheffield United John, and Semi Ajayi playing as centre halves. Sheffield United is just going to pass it along their back line. So we'll hope, best case scenario for Cody Drama. I really don't want to see another player go down to injury, especially this late in the season, as if he's probably going to be out with whatever the hamstring injury that he may have suffered in this game. If he was to go down with it, we probably won't see him again for the rest of the season. So Sheffield United are getting forwards now, capitalising on the little break up there of Hull City's defensive lineup. Just bodied and taken down in the box is Burrows. No foul, says the referee. Louis Curle battling hard to try and get the ball back into City's possession. It's going to do well to win Hull City a free kick. And so Hull City got a free kick now, very deep inside their own half. As Peck was just nibbling away, or I should say Peck was pecking away at Louis Curle. There we go. There's a top quality dad joke for you. You never thought you'd get one of them, did you? Ivo Panda now swinging that ball forwards. It's met by the head of a Sheffield United man, all the way back towards Semi Ajayi. It's going to be John Egan who's in fact going to slice it out wide clear, as there was Callum O'Hare chasing both of them down onto that ball there. Burrows coming in, swinging one, trying to get infield. It's met by Amir Zajmetrovic. His ball forwards, cleared forwards, though, by Sheffield United. A little bit of header tennis going back and forth. John Lundstrom tries to hoof one, only makes it as far as Ollie McBurney, who's a couple of yards ahead of him. He's going to try again. But Sheffield United still in possession here. Peck going forwards. Gustavo Harmer, edge of the area. Sliding challenge by John Lundstrom does well to win the ball back for City. The ball falls to Matt Crooks, falls back into possession of Sheffield United. Callum O'Hare on this near-hand side. He lays it off towards Peck. Peck to Gustavo Harmer, who was offside there on this near-hand side. And so that's going to be a free kick once again for Hull City. Pretty much an ideal, what am I saying? In pretty much the same position that Ivo Panda just had. It's not an ideal position to get a free kick in at all, but still. Offside call, very clearly offside. And so Ivo Panda now has himself another free kick. Sorry, it was Burrows that was offside, not Gustavo Harmer. So Ivo Panda swings that one forwards down this right-hand side. Hoofed forwards by Amir Zajmetrovic. Taken down, though, by Brooks for Sheffield United. Forwards, met by Callum O'Hare. Over towards Peck. Peck unleashes Gustavo Harmer. Harmer lays it off for Callum O'Hare. Callum O'Hare, shot! Saves by Ivo Panda, who has to go down to a knee. Wasn't too much in that shot there by Callum O'Hare, was just charging in towards the area with the ball. An easy save there for Ivo Panda to keep this game 1-0 Hull City. 23.5 minutes into this game. Hull City once again getting the ball forwards. Just pulled up for a free kick there though for Sheffield United. So we'll reset things with McGuinness. Over towards this side with Burrows. Back towards McGuinness. Tanganga. And complete the back lineup with Sareki. Sheffield United just passing along their back line right now, trying to recompose themselves within this game. Of course, going early down to a returning Ollie McBurney's goal. McBurney's first goal in his first time back at Bramall Lane. Of course, left them to go to Las Palmas and then come back to the Championship with Hull City this season on that free transfer that was on about earlier on. McBurney possibly snubbed to be in the conversation for Championship Player of the Season. The awards have been announced in the nominees. The only Hull City person within the squad, not even a player, the only person within Hull City that has been nominated for one of the awards is Sergei Akievich, who has been nominated for Championship Manager of the Season. And I think, without my bias aside, I think he should win it. Of course, whether that is the case, we'll wait and see. The job that Sergei Akievich has done at Hull City this season has been nothing shy of a miracle. To say that this squad survived last season on the final day based on results that were going away elsewhere and also picking themselves up at points away on the road at Portsmouth, to then look forwards 12 months' time and they're in the running to get promoted to the Premier League. It's quite a flipping a change, isn't it? Louis Carroll's block there from Sheffield United has resulted in them grabbing themselves another corner here. Up the ties indeed. So Gustavo Hammer out on that far hand side to take a swinging corner. Swung in, fairly deep. Met by the head of Ollie McBurney, who rose like Jesus on a Sunday. It's back out now with Gustavo Hammer over towards Rothwell. Rothwell charging forwards, Lundstrom breathing down his neck. He's going to have a misguided pass towards Paddy McNair. And McNair's ball forward is just going to go out of play nearly on the halfway line there for a Sheffield United throw-in. Going to take that one quick to try and still build on this momentum that they had off the back of the corner kick. Committed quite a few bodies forwards. Nearly everyone is inside of the Hull City half for Sheffield United. But they're electing to pass it round the centre circle area. Going to look to try and maybe edge things forwards down this left-hand side here with Burrows. Infield towards Hammer. Hammer, O'Hare. Back over towards Burrows. Burrows looks for a cheeky one towards Gustavo Hammer. Mohamed Baloumi says no. He's going to send that one out for a throw-in. As Sheffield United will have to reset themselves a little bit here. Still ever present in this attacking formation, though, are the Blades. Of course, we'll bring to you the scores from elsewhere in the Championship at half-time, and also a little bit of an updated look at the Championship table. Of course, as I say, Hull City's place in the table cannot alter at all with these 3 points that they're currently on track to gain. Of course, they can't go any higher today, but a win can possibly put them in rankings to go higher in the table in future games. Of course, even if they don't make the miracle push towards second place to get that automatic promotion place, in the playoff places, a higher position does mean favourably upon you because both third and fourth have the advantage going into the playoffs, playing respectively 6th and 5th. And of course, having a bit more of an advantage in them playoff places. But at the moment, I mean, I probably would rather be facing one of the teams that are above Hull City because their form-wise isn't looking too good at the moment. Whereas if Hull City were to go higher and having to play the likes of a possibility of a Southampton or a Wrexham who are in very good form at the moment, battling to get into a playoff place, I think I'd be rather on the other end of the stick. So we'll all wait and see on that one. That's probably a conversation to have for another day once we know a little bit more solidified into the playoff places where teams are probably going to roughly land, but anything can chop and change at a last minute gasp in this Championship season. Ball getting passed around the centre circle now for Sheffield United. Over towards McGuinness here. Forwards towards Peck. Out wide towards Sareki. Sareki just passes it straight towards Matt Crooks. So Crooks is going to look to unleash Mohamed Baloumi down this right-hand side. He does so. Baloumi charging in. Swings one deep towards the back post. Lunsham. McBurney. Bicycle kick. Cleared off the line. Was that a goal? Was it not? I don't think it was. But McBurney had a very good chance to try and make it a brace of the day. With a bicycle kick. And that's the best bicycle kick I think I've ever seen from Ollie McBurney. He's had a few crap ones in his time at Hull City. But that one was as clean as they come. And it's very, very close to making it 2-0 inside his first half for Hull City. My oh my, it doesn't get any closer than that. The player was actually inside of the goal who cleared it off the line. And McBurney denied from making it 2 on his return to Bramall Lane. It was laid up perfectly, bicycle kick. And McGuinness clears it off the line with his head. His apologies, Liam Miller who set up the bicycle kick. Sent it over to McBurney. McBurney chested it up and then went for the bicycle kick himself. Oh, they don't come any closer than that, do they? And then off the back of that, Rothwell swinging one in towards the box, and that's going to go straight behind for an Ivo Panda goal kick. Really don't come any closer than that. Certainly for McBurney doing a bicycle kick. We've seen him attempt it a few times this season. And what a spectrum that would have been if that was to get pulled off to send Hull City 2-0 up. And also to grab his second of the game in the first half at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United with the throw-in over on that far-hand side. In towards Rothwell. Matt Crooks picks up the errant pass once again. Edge of the area, Matt Crooks. Ooh! Takes a shot, just goes narrowly wide from outside of the box. Everyone seems to be trying to get in on the fun and joy now. Of course, some goals here would be much appreciated. Matt Crooks wasn't a million miles away, that shot from outside of the area. But once again, Matt Crooks being in the right area at the right time to pick up an errant pass by Sheffield United. Seen that a few times already, half an hour into this game. McGuinness is just going to have the ball now for the Blades. Sending it over towards Burrows. Infield towards Gustavo Harmer. Harmer looking for a switch ball forwards towards Brooks up on that right-hand side. He's going to play it towards Sareki, who's going to play it back towards Brooks. Infield towards Tanganga. Rothwell. Forwards looking for Harmer. He's going to be dispossessing now. It's going to be Liam Miller who's unleashed down this left-hand side. He's cutting more infield, looking for Mohamed Baloumi. Shot forward. Mohamed Baloumi shoots, and that's saved by the goalkeeper. Well done to Davies, the Sheffield United goalkeeper, who came straight out to block Mohamed Baloumi. And Baloumi was looking for himself to try and make it 2-0. A brilliant ball there by Liam Miller to find Mohamed Baloumi, who broke away from the Sheffield United line and got himself into some space. But even better done by the goalkeeper for Sheffield United, who came and closed down that gap very quickly and denied the Hull City 2-0 opportunity there. But they do have a corner off the back of it. It's going to be swung in from that far-hand side by Louis Coyle, I believe. It's got towards Lundstrom. I think it was actually Amir Zajmetrovic. Gearing up for a powerful shot was Mohamed Baloumi, but it was picked up by Gustavo Harmer before he could do so. Harmer, forwards, over towards Patrick Bamford. Bamford shoots, and it's right down at the back knee of Ivo Panda. That was a shockingly bad shot by Patrick Bamford. Sheffield United really should have scored in that situation. A counter-attack where they were heavily outnumbering Hull City's defence. And Patrick Bamford, who has already picked up, I think, double-digit goals this season for Sheffield United. He took a shot that I think he'll be looking back on and saying, why didn't I do any better at it? Hull City do pick themselves a ball back up here with Paddy McNair. He's going to have to go all the way back towards Ivo Panda, who's going to send one long forwards to clear it out of any danger of Hull City. It's headed back into the mix, though, by Sheffield United. McNair's going to be uncontested for it because they're both Sheffield United players that are near him were offside when the ball was kicked. So McNair's going to hoof one forwards. And it's going to be Saraki once again hoofing it forwards. Got quite a decent jump on him, to be fair, for a right back. And so, offside call just there being. So Sheffield United picking themselves up a free kick. Luckily done so. Sheffield United away last year was so peak. It certainly was. Hoping for new heights this season with an away day to Wembley possibly on the cards. But anyway, we do have a bit of time before now and then. And of course, if Hull City are to get into the playoff places, a full playoff battle to happen. But still, Hull City leading 1-0 here. They're doing the job on the day here today. It's going to be Harmer trying to send it forward towards Patrick Bamford. Lundstrom comes in to clean it up off Bamford. Sends it back towards Panda. Panda once again going forwards. Looks for McBurnie. Doesn't quite get it. Although Hull City will try and pick up possession once again. As the ball's getting passed around between the Sheffield United back line. Looking to come forwards is Saraki towards Brooks. Brooks down this right hand side. He's instead going to go infield towards Peck. Peck just second thinks about going through the middle. Going to go back out to that right hand side with Saraki and Brooks. In towards Rothwell. Over towards McGuinness. McGuinness out towards Burrows on this left hand side. Swung in. Headed clear by Paddy McNair. Only as far, it's about 40 yards out where a Sheffield United player is going to meet it. They're going to try once again through Burrows. City setting themselves up quite nicely defensively. So Sheffield United are struggling for any avenues to get in. For any opportunities to take on Ivo Panda. A last-ditch foot there from Amir Zajimetrovic blocks one passing lane. But still Rothwell with the ball. Lays off towards Hammer. Hammer back towards Rothwell. He second thinks about going forwards, instead goes backwards. City doing well to hold out their shape here. Comes charging through John Egan. This breaks open a little bit now though for Sheffield United in towards the box. Sliding effort there from Paddy McNair. Sends the ball out for a throw-in over on that far-hand side, right down near the corner flag. Did the Cody injury look bad? I just woke up, lol. No. The ball wasn't anywhere near him. No one was near him. He just must have felt something and went down to the deck. So we're not fully sure. It looked like it might have been the left hamstring. That seemed to be what he was trying to rub and pull himself together. He looked like he was trying to continue the game and was actually saying, no, I'm going to continue, no, I'm going to continue. So hopefully it was more of a precautionary matter on Hull City's end and he's actually fine. But we will wait and see. Oh, some positive news. Southampton go 1-0 down to Derby County. We're getting a goal line decision update on the Ollie McBurnie bicycle kick. And that wasn't far away from complete and going over the line. It was about half the ball was over the line when it was cleared. So that's how close he comes. McBurney trying making it 2 earlier on in this first half with that bicycle kick effort. But I mean, you put all the credit into their defender, McGuinness, because I don't think I've seen McBurney take a better bicycle kick. I don't think he possibly could have taken a better bicycle kick if he tried. It looked quite picturesque. Matt Crooks looking to try and pick the ball up on an errant pass there by Sheffield United. Doesn't quite happen. Into the box though. Cleared by Coyle and now Balumi. Only as far as the halfway line though where Sheffield United picking it back and up. Peck with the ball now halfway inside of City's half. Plays a 1-2 with Harmer. Over towards Rothwell. Over towards Harmer now. McBurney commanding forwards is Liam Miller. Miller looking for a cheeky ball out to his right-hand side for Balumi. Wasn't quite a nice ball as we saw earlier on in the game from Miller to Balumi. And so Sheffield United were able to pick up on that pass there. Going forwards now through their defensive lineup. Just walking up the field in essence. Passing it between them. Over towards Burrows on his left-hand side. He's just going to cut back and go infield more towards McGuinness. Rothwell Peck. And back towards McGuinness. A little bit of dull football here from Sheffield United, I must say. You can see why they're in the position they're in at the moment in the table and why they maybe haven't had the best of seasons this season. But still a ball in the box. Sliding challenge away by Louis Coyle. Out for a throw-in on the halfway line. So ball getting thrown in there towards McGuinness. The man who stopped Ollie McBurney from making it 2-0 here. With that fabulous bicycle kick. Hull City do lead coming into the 40th minute. 1-0 up through Ollie McBurney's goal on his return to Bramall Lane. Lundstrom looked to try and send out wide towards Liam Miller. Liam Miller just slipped and went down to the deck. Nothing in it there though from the Canadian boy. Peck charging in towards the area. Paddy McNair battling hard with him. Peck still's got the ball. There was 3 on him at one point, but still managed to pull away with it. And Brooks whips one in towards Patrick Bamford at the back post. And that's going to have too much on it and Bamford can't get to it. A few ironic cheers from the Hull City away supporters, who were just there in front of Patrick Bamford as he dives to try and make that ball. Of course, Bamford has a bit of a history with Hull City, of course, being a formerly Leeds player himself. And so being a perennial Hull City hater himself as well. So Evil Panda here has the goal kick. It's going to take us a little bit of time here. It's winding down the clock in this first half. So you haven't had too much of the ball in these past 5-10 minutes. But saying that, Sheffield United haven't done a large amount with it themselves. So Sheffield United just picked up a cheeky free kick here inside of their own half. So McBurney was doing the fouling. Still just going to pass it between their back line. McGuinness out towards Burrows. Burrows going to come infield now. McGuinness trying to leash one forwards through the centre. And that was to absolutely nobody other than Evil Panda. Really bad ball there by the Sheffield centre half. Evil Panda's going to pick the ball up as Patrick Bamford come charging forwards. So I'm going to take it out of his hands, kicking it forward towards McBurney. It's going to go over McBurney's head. Miller's going to try and come onto it. Wasn't able to get to the ball before Sheffield United hoofed it forwards. But it's going to find its way back towards Liam Miller. Heads it towards Lundstrom, towards Paddy McNair. McNair over towards Egan. Panda. And back towards Egan now. Coming forwards. Looks to go down that left-hand side. Just hoofs it too much. And it's going to go out itself for a throw-in. So quite a few errant passes and hoofs by some centre-halves here. Have exchanged possession a little bit. But still 3 minutes plus remaining in this first half and Hull City leading 1-0. Coming forwards now, Sheffield United. Burrows on this left-hand side. He's going to go back towards McGuinness. In towards Peck. Peck coming forwards. Lays it off towards Patrick Bamford. He's going to get it back and lay it off towards Callum O'Hare. Burrows trying to swing one in. It deflects off Mohamed Baloumi. It's going to go out for a throw-in. On this near-hand side. Going to be taken fairly quickly by Sheffield United. Trying to catch Hull City napping. Didn't quite happen. And Callum O'Hare. He dinks one over to Louis Carls, gets to Burrows. Inside of the box. It's headed. Cleared nearly off the line there by John Egan. And hoofed away by Miller to Crooks. Back to Miller. Sheffield United will pick it back up though in the attacking third for them. Inside of Hull City's box now. And Miller's going to pick it up eventually again. He's going to go down to the decks on a bit of a trip. Still have the ball in his possession. Down once again. This time it's going to be in Sheffield United's possession. Edge of the area. It's Brooks. Everyone back now for Hull City in theory. Gustavo Hammer from range. And it's going to be straight at Evil Panda. So Hull City doing well to defend on the attacking option there from Sheffield United. Maybe we'd look for Sheffield United to have done a little bit better with the opportunities that they had. The real chance, though, was for, I believe it was Brooks who took the jumping header that was cleared by John Egan. So things remain 1-0 here. Ball just drops down though now for Sheffield United. It's going to be Brooks in a little bit of a battle there with Liam Miller. He's going to send it back though towards Tanganga for Sheffield United. Over towards now here McGuinness. You think Panda should continue to start or not? I presume he's going to start through the rest of the season. The only reason that he didn't start the game on Good Friday away at Oxford was due to being a bit jet lagged and just coming back that day from international duty for Croatia, I should say. So he's going to start every game now through to the end of the season, whenever the season ends, whether it be playoff final, playoff semi-finals, or God forbid on the final day of the season at home to Norwich. He's going to start all of them games in the lead up to the final game of the season for Hull City. Corner now for Sheffield United as Peck comes charging forwards with that one. But next season, whatever the case may be, I'm not sure whether Panda will be looking for a move elsewhere, whether Hull City will be looking to pick up someone else like they look to try to do in the January transfer window. Who really knows? That is, of course, a conversation to have later on. But yeah, I think Panda will, and rightfully should so, start every game in between the sticks. Oh, headed away by Hull City. And it's going to be a throw-in now for Sheffield United. Right back out on this corner flag here. 3 minutes added on here. We've played 30 seconds of that already. So yeah, I think Evo Panda will continue to start every game now until Hull City make it back to the Premier League, because that's what's going to happen this season. Have a bit of optimism. But Sheffield United have themselves another corner kick on this near-hand side. Gustavo Harmer going to take it. He's got both hands in the air. And he's going to swing one in. Deep, very deep. And that's going to be headed behind by, I believe it was John Egan. It's going to be another corner kick on the opposite side this time. So Harmer's just going to run across towards the other corner flag. With about a minute and a half remaining of this additional here. So hopefully Hull City can close out this first half. Still remaining 1-0 up. Headed in by McGuinness. But that's going to be behind. His header was very clearly off target. Wasn't quite as good as his header to clean off McBurney's bicycle kick. It more came off his shoulder actually, rather than a clean header. But still, Hull City picking themselves up a goal kick. Managed to winding down the clock a little bit. The ball's going to get sent largely forwards by Evo Panda. Under 1 minute remaining of these 3 minutes additional to close out this first half. Ball goes in Sheffield United's favour though. So they're going to try and create one last little bit of magic to close out this first half. McGuinness. Infield towards Rothwell. Back towards Davies. Davies going to go over the top. Looking for Bamford. Harmer. Then Peck. Peck through the field. Blocked by Semi Ajayi. Matt Crooks picks it up now. On this right hand side here for Hull City. Going to play it back towards Amir Zajametrovic. To Louis Coyle. Coyle going to go back towards Evo Panda. Panda hoofs one forwards down this right hand side. Headed forwards by McGuinness. Back again by Lundstrom. And taken down there by Peck for Sheffield United. Coyle clears it forwards. And the referee does blow the whistle there for half time. 1-0 up are Hull City. Coming in after the first 45. Ollie McBurney on his return to Bramall Lane. He's the difference maker. Could have made it 2-0 if it wasn't for a miraculous block off the line by McGuinness. But still, Hull City still lead coming into the half. I'll give you about 5 minutes to put your final votes in on the poll in chat. If you think Hull City will win, if you think Sheffield United will win, or if you think it will be a draw. Of course, Hull City are currently winning through that 5th minute goal from Ollie McBurney. So let's go through the scores from elsewhere in the Championship for match day 42. So, of course, we do have last night where West Brom Millwall, that was a 0-0 final scoreline. The final scorelines from the early kickoffs today. QPR Bristol City 0-0. Coventry City 0-0 with Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich City did lose to Ipswich Town 2-0, so that was a big win for Ipswich Town as they currently sit now in second place. Of course, still got 2 games in hand as well. Half times for elsewhere in the Championship. Oxford United currently winning 1-0 at home to Watford. Big result that for Oxford United if that can pull out. Of course, they are being in that relegation battle. Another side in the relegation battle, Leicester City. They're currently 0-0 at home to Swansea City. Blackburn Rovers are winning 1-0 on the road at Stoke City. Derby County, as we said, are winning 1-0 on the road at Southampton. A big result for Hull City, that one being. Middlesbrough Portsmouth, that's 0-0 half-time. Hull City are, of course, winning 1-0 on the road at Bramall Lane half-time. And then the other half-time scoreline, Charlton Preston 1-1 with Birmingham Wrexham tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So let's have a little look at the Championship table as things stand. Hull City are in 5th. As I said, they can't go any higher, of course, with the current playing of things with Millwall, Middlesbrough, as such, who both are on 73 points at the moment, considering Middlesbrough are currently 0-0 in their game. With Southampton losing at the moment, and of course Derby winning, there's 2 teams beneath Hull City on 66 points, but Hull City are sitting on 71 points. Of course, Southampton with the game in hand, so if things do stay as they are, even with Southampton's game in hand, they won't be able to overtake Hull City, so things are looking quite good here in the current situation of things for Hull City. The win was the best case scenario. That's what they're on track to do so at the moment. We won't get ahead of ourselves just yet, but still things are looking pretty good. Of course, that Ollie McBurney goal has now put him tied 3rd with Jack Clark of Ipswich Town on 14 goals in the league for top goal scorer. Of course, he'll need another 6 if he wants to equal Zan Fibotnik's 20 goals that he's scored so far this season in first place for Swansea City. So I don't think that's maybe quite in the realm of possibility. But still, Ollie McBurney, he's had he's had a good season, hasn't he? He's had 8 assists in the league. He's had 14 goals. Put that together, that is 22. Yes, 22 goal involvements. Is that the most out of anyone? I believe it is. So, maybe he was snubbed to get into the Championship Player of the Season conversation. Who really knows? But yeah, it's an interesting little bit of information there. So let's go into the stats in this game and then we will end the poll. So this is your final opportunity to get in to say that you think the Hull City are going to win. Joking aside, you can vote on whoever, but it's probably going to be Hull City. So stats coming into the half-time. Shots-wise, 9 for Sheffield United, 8 for Hull City. Shots on target, 4 for Sheffield United, 3 for Hull City. Possession-wise, Sheffield United lead with 64% of the possession. Fouls-wise, 8 for Hull City, 2 for Sheffield United. No yellow cards, no reds. Offsides, 3 for Hull City, 2 for Sheffield United, and corners a whopping 5 for Sheffield United and 2 for Hull City. But still, the goal line is 1-0 Hull City. That's the key one that matters. With, I believe, all of the stats going in favour of Sheffield United, but still Hull City do lead the game 1-0, and they are in the better place in the table. Sheffield United still in 17th place, Hull City still in 5th. Lovely stuff. Right, let's end the poll in chat and let's see what we think people have voted for. With 28 votes, it is Hull City, 28 overall votes, it is a 75% chance for Hull City to win. That's what you lot think. I would heavily agree so as well. We had a few votes for Sheffield United and a few votes for a draw, but big majority going for Hull City win. So let's hope that the Tigers can do so. Second 45 to come in a little bit. Hull City still leading 1-0 through Ollie McBurney, who elected not to celebrate. Okay. Vipotnik from Swansea has 20 goals and 2 assists. Oh, there we go. That equals Ollie McBurney's 22 goal involvements. But still, Vipotnik, he's probably going to win Player of the Season, or he's been nominated. He's definitely going to be up there. Might not win it, actually, to be fair, because hasn't done too much other than goal scoring. But still, I don't know if McBurney was snubbed. I mean, let me know in the comment section if you think McBurney was snubbed from the Championship Player of the Season to be nominated for it. I mean, let me just pull up the nominees. I know Vipotnik was one. I know Hackney was one. And just pull up to see who else was on the shortlist. So it was Carl Rushworth, Femi Aziz, Zam Vipotnik, and Hayden Hackney. All four of them, to be fair, have had good seasons. But I don't know. I mean, if there was a fifth player, would the fifth player have been Ollie McBurney? Probably. But that's how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, manager of the season probably is going to be Sergei Kivic. If it's not, he's going to be heavily snubbed, considering all that he's done as a manager for Hull City this season. Definitely manager of the season. If he doesn't win it, there will be a riot on our hands. So yeah, of course I'll keep updated on the channel as things develop on the as we find out who's won them two awards. Of course, hopefully it is Sergei Yakirovich for the manager of the season in the Championship. How was Ollie not on that? Not a clue. I really thought that he should be, and it seems like quite a few other people have similar thoughts. I've heard a few people saying similar things on the internet. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but maybe if McBurney hadn't had that little bit of a quiet patch that he's been having recently, would it be him swaying into a different position? Possibly. Who knows? Of course, to say as well that McBurney had a little bit of a spell where he's on the sidelines this season. We've not actually seen a full, complete season from Ollie McBurney in the Hull City shirt this year. He had a little bit of a stretch where he was on the sidelines for about a month or two. So, to say as well that he's not had the full season and he's still got 22 goal involvements. Season's not over yet. And nearly had another one today, to be fair. So, yeah. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be. Hull City are probably going to go to Wembley. But yeah. I mean, we will have a quick look at the table as things stand. And as things currently stand, of course, that being Hull City in 5th, Middlesbrough in 3rd with on goal difference, considering their current scoreline in their game. Hull City would be facing Millwall in the playoffs, which, to be fair, I'm not sure if you'd rather face Millwall, Middlesbrough or Southampton. I mean, probably the one that you don't want to be facing at the moment would be Southampton. They're currently on the best form-wise. The one that are on the worst form are actually Middlesbrough, who are currently in 3rd place. So Southampton, Middlesbrough, it'd be more in favour for Southampton, considering their current track record. Their last 5 in the Championship is 1 draw, 4 wins. For Middlesbrough, it's 3 draws, 2 losses. But Hull City, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. Millwall, 1 win, 2 loss, 2 draws. So it's a bit similar there. Hull City do have just the slight edge. But, of course, all comes down to 2 games in the playoff semi-finals and then the playoff final. So all things are up in the air. Of course, it could be all chopping and changing. Hull City could miraculously make their way up to 3rd. Maybe even miraculously, stranger things have happened, make their way up to 2nd, and we could be talking about Hull City bypassing the entire playoffs and going up automatically, but it's probably highly unlikely that. He has still nearly kept his promise to Sergei, 15 goals. He nearly has, actually. It is 15 goals in all competitions, so if he wants to go on that. But then if it is another goal in the Championship, then it is 15 goals in the Championship for Hull City this season for Ollie McBurney. So he will have kept his promise to Sergei and Adjan of 15 goals this season. So fair play to Ollie McBurney. Fair play to him indeed. Coming back to England and putting out a A very, very good returning campaign. And of course, all on a free transfer. Oh, it just sounds even better. I mean, that's another reason why Sergei Kirich deserves to be manager of the season. He has done all what he's done. Hull City are sitting in 5th at the moment. Possibility of getting higher with the coming 4 games after today. All on a transfer embargo, free restrictions. All with the controversy surrounding Hull City. Off the back of a season where they just stayed up on the final day. All of that mounting into this. Sergei Kirich coming into his first managerial job in England in the Championship. Into a squad that had a lot of fresh new faces. A lot of faces where people were like, oh, they're a bit past it. They've just come back from Turkey. They've come from abroad. They had some good season in the Championship, but are they going to be living up to them likes? And Sergei Kirich has pulled it out of the bag pretty much from minute 1. Well, a bit of a chop and change start to the season. There was some good wins, some poor results at the beginning. But it was all in there. And it has been consistently enough. Yeah, it's maybe not been as consistent as you'd like it coming into the second half of the season. But they're still getting the job done when they need to. And Gellert not too far behind. He's certainly not. He's on 13 in the league. So sitting 1 behind McBurney in the league. 2 behind him in all competitions. So Gellert, possibly his best season in professional football. And could that be mounting towards the hopeful permanent contract at the end of the season from Leeds United towards Hull City? Let's hope so. Gellert is still remaining a firm favourite on making a permanent switch to Hull City. So let's hope that happens. And next season, we're looking at a build upon the squad that we've seen this season. Whether that be Hull City in the Premier League, whether that be Hull City in the Championship, who knows? Of course, if we build upon this squad next season in the Championship, who knows? Bigger heights could be set upon themselves. And with, of course, the playoff places extending that next season, 2 more places in the playoffs. There'll be even more of a push, I reckon, from teams in the Championship to try and get themselves up there. But still, a few minutes away from kickoff in the second half. I think actually the players should be coming out about now. Coming out for the second half. I don't think there will be any changes, certainly from Hull City's element coming to the second half. There's only been one change, and that being somewhat of a forced one through Cody Drammer, coming off for Paddy McNair. All things across, Cody Drammer is all good and healthy. It looked like he is because he was actually trying to continue the game, but Sergei said no. Paddy McNair was already stripped and ready to come on, so that's what happened. So Sheffield United players are back out on the field. Just waiting for the reintroduction of the boys in blue for the day, Hull City. And I can't see any changes off the back of things for Sheffield United. They were building quite a little bit of momentum in them last 15 minutes though of that first half, so they'll be looking to continue the same in these early stages of the second. Do you think Hughes will stay in the summer or move to a big club? It's hard to tell. Of course, the possibility of having surgery does change things up massively. Because will teams be looking to bank on him fresh off the back of surgery? Also, fitness-wise and all that sort of stuff, will be teams be looking to cash in on that? Not really sure. So I do think that maybe puts in favour a little bit more for Charlie Hughes staying. Of course, if Hull City go up, Charlie Hughes will stay at Hull City. There's no true question about it, unless there is a big money move to one of your big Premier League clubs. He will be staying if Hull City do go up. If they're in the Championship, I'm leaning now more to the side of Charlie Hughes staying rather than leaving. Of course, that can change very easily, and as soon as the interest starts coming in the summer, who knows? I could change my mind and I could be saying there is no way that Charlie Hughes is staying at Hull City. He's definitely going to be looking to make that move up to the Premier League. But I think Hughes stays. That's my inkling at the moment. Of course, the possibility of having surgery is a big deciding factor in that. So that's where I stand at the moment, but things can very quickly change. Oh, very interesting kickoff routine there from Hull City. It was John Egan who took the kickoff. And then it was pounced straight forwards on a shot not on target. And so Sheffield United picked themselves up a goal kick within the first couple of seconds of this second half. Mohamed Baloumi picks up the ball on the right-hand side. Really nicely done in towards Oli McBurney. And that's just tickled behind by Tanganga. Oh, Mohamed Baloumi did really well down on that right-hand side. Kept the ball just narrowly in play and then just fed it in towards McBurney. Tanganga came through quite nicely to pick up the ball, sending it behind for a corner kick. In front of the travelling Hull City supporters now. Mohamed Baloumi to whip this corner in. The 6-yard box is crowded. Whipped in. Right on top of Semir Jai. Headed away by Sheffield United. Back in by Miller. Back in again by Amir Zajmetrovic. Turned away both times by Sheffield United. Out wide now towards Liam Miller on this near-hand side. The left-hand side for him. Back towards Lundstrom. Whipped in. Onto chest of McBurney. McBurney sent down to the deck. Referee says nothing on it. Louis Curl trying to header away that ball forwards by Sheffield United. Brooks is going to pick it up. And so now Sheffield United are going to commit quite a few bodies forwards. Being a bit of an electric start to this second half. Off the back of an interesting kickoff routine by the Tigers. And coming forwards down this right-hand side, Sareki. Into the box, whipped in. Semir Jai cleared that one away. Nicely done there by Semir Jai. And the electric start to the second half continues as Sheffield United try to get themselves a chance on goal there. Once again, similar situation, although Paddy McNair will block Callum O'Hare there. And he's going to send it forwards. No one there in a blue shirt for Hull City. And so Sheffield United will be uncontested to pass it along their back line. They'll now be just gently chased down by Baloumi and Crooks. We'll get it over towards Tanganga, who's going to send it forwards on this right-hand side towards Brooks. Brooks gets past Miller. In towards the box, blocked by Paddy McNair. And that one's going to go out for a throw-in. Brooks is going to look to try and take it quick. Doesn't do so. And so Sareki's going to take it himself. Throw in by number 38 there for Sheffield United. Offside being the call when Amir Zajmetrovic came through. And so there's going to be a free kick on that far hand side for Hull City. Oh, sorry, in this near hand side I should say. Ivo Panda to take the free kick. Chris Wilder just shouting at the linesman that pulled up for the offside there. Ball forwards on this near-hand side. Headed back in play. Just a foul pulled up, I believe, on Matt Crooks there to McGuinness. Sheffield United going to try and get things undergoing a little bit quicker now. Seems there's a little bit of wind in place at Bramall Lane at the moment. The sun seems to have gone in a bit more. Although Mohamed Baloumi is going to pick the ball up in the midfield now for Hull City. He's going to take it forwards himself. Looking to feed it over towards Liam Miller. Does so on his left-hand side. In the box. Miller lays off Lundstrom. Looks for a shot. Blocked. Sent away there by Sheffield United. Brooks now charging forwards himself. Coming forwards in towards the Hull City half. Baloumi does well to pick it back up by dispossessing him. Amir Zajmetrovic forwards now towards Matt Crooks. Crooks just falls down to the deck, but a throw-in is going to be awarded Hull City's way nonetheless. 50 minutes into this game, 5 minutes into the second half. Hull City still leading 1-0 through the goal in the 5th minute by former Sheffield United man Oli McBurney. He's come close to scoring once in that first half again, and then maybe close to scoring again in the second half, depending on how you view it. But throw-in whipped in by Coyle towards McBurney. McBurney's going to pick it up now up himself. Sending it over towards Paddy McNair, the man that was introduced for the injured Cody Drammer. Over towards Liam Miller, left-hand side, coming more in field. Liking what I've been seeing from Miller in this game so far. Sending it over towards Amir, towards Balumi. Balumi, 2 men on him. He's going to get away with a shot, and that's not going to be a million miles away to say that it was off balance. And from a decent range out on his left foot, Mohamed Balumi pulled away and pulled the trigger. Really, really nice there from Mohamed Balumi. Had 2 men on him, off balance, and gets the shot away. It was a bit high, a bit wide. But not bad, saying that he was off balance and it was from a decent range. Sheffield United through Peck, going to go forwards now. Up towards Burrows on the left-hand side for them. Back towards Peck. Infield towards Rothwell. Over towards Sureki. Out wide towards Brooks now on this near-hand side for Sheffield United. Infield now, Peck on the edge of the D. To be cleared away by Mohamed Balumi. He just goes down. Looks to be grimacing a little bit. But it doesn't look like there's any injury concern there. There's a little bit of a gasp there from me because I thought, oh dear, it looked like he went down a bit more tentatively than I would have liked. But all things seem to be fine there with Mohamed Balumi. Swansea City have just scored away at Leicester City. The goal scorer for Swansea City, Zanfi Potnik. So it seems like he is going to be running away with that Golden Boot title this season in the Championship. Ball sent forwards by Ivo Panda on the free kick. Headed back towards Hull City's half by Sheffield United. It's going to be ending all the way back now with Ivo Panda. He's going to have to clear it out wide because Patrick Bamford was right on top of him. And so there's now a throw-in over on that far-hand side that Burrows is going to take. He's going to take it quickly to an uncontested Gustavo Hamo who's in front of him. Going to send it in field. Lundstrom picks it up now. McBurney unleashed away in the midfield. Going to try and get one going forwards. Didn't quite get a perfectly shaped ball to go forwards towards Mohamed Balumi. Still Hull City going to pick it up here. Lundstrom going infield. And the ball's just going to be stopped up there because there's a head injury on a Sheffield United player. The referee was going to blow for the foul, but because a head injury and he's still down on the deck, he does have to stop the play so the player can receive the treatment. It was Brooks who went down with the head injury. Looked like he collided a little bit with Paddy McNair as they both went up for a header. Looked like maybe Paddy McNair's head just went into the back of his very gently. But we'll see on the outcome of this one. Referee just holding the ball, having a conversation with John Egan. John Egan, of course, former of Sheffield United. A couple of former Sheffield United players in this squad here for Hull City. Chris Wilder now shouting at the referee saying, how is it not a free kick when it's a head injury? Seems to be a bit more of a angrier tone with the poor results that he's been having for Sheffield United this season. Looks like the rain might just be starting there down at Sheffield. As Sergey was just putting his hands out as if, oh, I feel a bit of rain on me. Still, that can't dampen the spirits at the moment. Hull City sitting 1-0 up. That ball sent all the way forwards, and so now it's going to be a goal kick there for Sheffield United. Davies in front of the travelling strong there for Hull City. He's going to hoof it forward. Semi-Ajay heads it. Looking for Lundstrom, who's going to head it towards Miller. Back towards McNair. McNair's going to try and unleash Miller down this left-hand side. That ball had too much on it as it was trying to get over a few Sheffield United players. It's going to be out of play here on this near-hand side. Throw in now for Sheffield United. Take his time a little bit. Instead, going to go down the line, looking for Patrick Bamford. City do pick the possession back up, but Miller's ball towards McBurney is not going to quite work out. And the ball resulting over the top, we're going to try and find Liam Miller once again, but he's going to be offside. in that case. There's a free kick there for Sheffield United. Ball over towards Rothwell, who's going to be charging up that left-hand side for Sheffield United. In towards Burrows, blocked by Louis Kyle. Throw in now for Burrows. Can take it quick infield towards Peck. Peck sending it back towards McGuinness. Inside of City's half. Tanganga now for Sheffield United. Over towards Sareki. Sareki towards Brooks. Brooks 1-on-1. Oh, sorry, 2-on-1 now with Miller and McNair. Glides past both of them. In towards the box. In towards Ivo Panda. Panda comes down. Grabs the ball. Referee says no fouls. A few little pushes and shoves in there. But Ivo Panda does well to come out and claim that ball as Brooks glided past 3 City players there. McNair, Miller and Lundstrom. McNair wasn't trying to give it up, so he was one of the players that was in the mix of things when the ball was picked up by Ivo Panda. Of course, Paddy McNair started the game on the bench, came on in that first half for the injured Cody Drammer. Who's forwards now by Ivo Panda, only as far as Sareki on the halfway line for Sheffield United. Brooks and Peck are going to play a little bit of a pass exchange there. So the ball's going to go forwards now through Callum O'Hare. Sareki. Miller tries to pick up a cheeky one there, but it's going to go out of play off a touch from the Canadian boy. And so Sheffield United is going to now pass it along their back line. 56.5 minutes into this game, 1-0 up our Hull City. Looking to try and grab another big away win. All these wins and all these points coming down this final stretch of the season are meaning even more as we look at how tight this playoff brace is. 3 points are very important today for Hull City. And if Hull City do manage to pick up the 3 points today, which they're currently on track to do, means that they would do the double over Sheffield United this season. And that would be the second time that Hull City have done the double over the Blades in a season in their history. So history could be made today if Hull City are managing to keep the winning form alive. Louis Carl with a throw-in over on that far-hand side. Is going to play it towards Amir Zajametrovic. Back towards Semir Jai. Who forwards. Met by Rothwell. Towards Burrows. Callum O'Hare. He's going to send it back after having a little bit of a battle there with John Lundstrom. And so Rothwell is going to send it over towards Sareki. Sareki towards Peck. Everyone from Sheffield United now trying to mince things forwards. Hull City doing their defensive duties here through Liam Miller. Throw in there from Sheffield United. It's going to be making its way more infield now towards McGuinness. Rothwell. Rothwell's going to go charging forwards once again down the left-hand side. Burrows. Back towards Rothwell. And Rothwell's going to think about it and go charge forwards. Try to take it himself. Infield. Headed away by Semir Jai inside of the penalty area. Few calls for handball. Very loosely by Sheffield United. The ball's going to get a deflection off the City player and going to go out for a corner kick there. A little bit of a dancy one there between Egan and Bamford. Luckily, it did go behind for the corner kick here, which Gustavo Hamer's going to take on this near-hand side. Coming up to the hour mark in this game. Swung in. Headed away by Matt Crooks. Not very far. Bellumi tries to send it on its way even further, but still, Sheffield United have the ball in their possession. Going to look to try and send it back into the mix. Doesn't quite happen, and Hull City going to get unleashed away with it. Liam Miller down this left-hand side. He's going to try and feed it through for Amir Zajametrovic. Even if he was to get onto that ball, which he wasn't, I think he was offside. Semir Jai does well there just to pull up on Patrick Bamford. Now Hull City have possession in their own rights. McNair to Lundstrom to Panda. Egan. But under pressure there from Sheffield United, so has to release a quick one forwards. Not to anyone in a Hull City shirt. Rather that of one in a Sheffield United shirt. And things have just spread open a little bit too much in the overall playing of things in this game. Sheffield United going to go forwards up towards Burrows on that left-hand side. Whipped in. And a diving Evo Panda blocks that one from ever getting steered goalwards by Callum O'Hare was charging in. So nicely done there by Evo Panda to command his area and come in and grab that ball on the dive. Ball hoofed forwards looking for McBurney. Doesn't quite happen. Lundstrom snaps in to pick up the ball. McBurney now has it. He's going to unleash Louis Carroll, come forward on that right-hand side. Cuts back towards Mohamed Baloumi. Baloumi coming in field. Going to swing one over towards Liam Miller on that left-hand side. He's got a bit of space. Now in the box. Miller's going to try and go. I don't know what he was trying to do there, Miller. I think he was maybe trying for the near post shot. But that came off all sorts of wrong. And went very high and very much over the crossbar. Sheffield United are going to be getting ready to make their first change of the afternoon. But play will continue before that happens. Ball forwards by their goalkeeper. Paddy McNair just coming through the back of Brooks. Free kick blown there for Sheffield United. They'll get that one underway very quickly. Out towards Sareki inside of the box. In towards Callum O'Hare. And that's blocked and away by Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Very nicely done there by the number 20 for Hull City to block any chance of Sheffield United capitalising off the back of that quick free kick. Very nicely done there by Callum O'Hare. Sorry, not Callum O'Hare. Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Callum O'Hare did not do good. And that is very good that he did not do good. Gustavo Harmer to swing this corner in on this near-hand side. Little sip out of the Hull City mug glass. Bit of good luck in the second half. Edge of the area for Sheffield United with Rothwell. Doesn't manage to get away with the ball. And Hull City do instead. Bit of a choppy ball forwards to try and find Miller. Doesn't quite do so. And so Sheffield United are going to try and get themselves back into contention. Unleashing, though, now is Matt Crooks down that right-hand side. Crooks trying to feed one for Liam Miller. Doesn't quite have enough on the ball to make it to Miller. That was a really nice ball by Matt Crooks. If it just had a little bit more on it, that would have found Liam Miller in a one-on-one situation with Davies. And I would have betted quite a lot of money on Liam Miller to have a good chance on scoring in that opportunity. So another close chance there for Hull City. Just unfortunate not to break our way. And so now going to be a double change for Sheffield United. Coming off is, I believe, Sareki. And also, I believe Callum O'Hare is the other player that's going to come off. Coming on is Hover. And also Chong. Of course, Chong has had a bit of game time in the Championship. I believe he was a previous Birmingham City player on loan, I think, from Manchester United there. So Sareki off for Hover, O'Hare off for Chong. Oh dear, Southampton have just equalised up with Derby. Of course, doesn't matter fully too much if Hull City do pick up the 3 points today. But say things can change on a dime in the Championship. Ball's just hoofed forwards there by Sheffield United. Semi Ajayi as well to pick it up and send it back towards Evo Panda. Giving chase is Gustavo Harmer. So Panda's rushed to send one forwards that doesn't make it to anyone in a City shirt. Instead that of a red and white Sheffield United shirt. Gustavo Harmer really putting the burners on to try and get things going now for the Blades. To no effect as of yet. Hull City are still sitting 1-0 pretty. And that ball looking to go forwards is deflected off the bum of Mohamed Baloumi. What managed to find its way to Ollie McBurney. McBurney didn't quite do good enough to break forward through that defensive line with the ball. So a little bit of header tennis in the midfield. Lundstrom does eventually come up with the ball after working his way round Gustavo Harmer. Baloumi, I should say, and Lundstrom play a 1-2 down that right-hand side. And Lundstrom gets in a little bit of a tussle there with McGuinness. McGuinness just putting his hands on Lundstrom, and there's a bit more of a tussle there. McBurney's coming over. McGuinness is getting really feisty, and now he's wanting to have a word with the ref. Chong and Coyle are just having a little word. A little bit of an altercation there. McGuinness and Lundstrom there. Crooks is getting involved. And the ref, I think, is now going to call over McGuinness. Baloomi's just riling up the Hull City fans. He's giving them a lot of hey, hey, hey. Ref's going to seem to give a yellow card for both McGuinness and Lundstrom. Lundstrom, of course, former Sheffield United player. I think that Lundstrom left Sheffield on a bit of bad terms. It looks like Lundstrom might have just accidentally stood on McGuinness when the sliding challenge from him happened just coming off the field. And McGuinness really wasn't trying to let that one go. He was charging more on Lundstrom than Lundstrom on him. And the linesman's just saying something on his mic and miming something there. So he's maybe trying to get things going a bit more. So the ref's just going to hold up this corner kick. It's now allowing to take place. Swinging in by Mohamed Baloomi. Away by Sheffield United. Away to Lundstrom. Miller's shot on his right foot. And that had no chance of finding it anywhere near on target. The shots haven't been fully ace from Miller today, but I'm liking what I've seen so far from our Canadian boy. Had a little bit too much bobble on that ball for Miller. So it was a double yellow card in the end in that instance on the Lundstrom-McGuinness little tussle. And once again, we see a little bit of a battle at Bramall Lane. We've seen red cards here in years prior. Of course, I cast my mind back to so red card. Who was it? Who was the striker for Hull City? Similar time to Estupinian. Who was the other striker that season? He got a red card. I'm blanking on his name, but he got a red card here at Bramall Lane for a little bit of a headbutt. So that sliding challenge there from Paddy McNair is going to send it behind for a corner kick. I'll try and think of his name as this game goes on. 23 minutes remain. Hello from Turkey. Hello, Turkey. Hope you're having a lovely day. Gustavo Harmer to whip this corner in on the near-hand side once again. Fair few corners for Sheffield United so far. In. McBurney going to flick it behind. It's going to be another corner now for Gustavo Hammer and Sheffield United over on that other side. Looks like Hull City going to get ready to make a double change here. Gelhardt and Kyle Joseph both getting ready to come on the field. So Hull City maybe not relenting up on attacking possibilities. Coming in the corner. And that was grabbed out of the air by Ivo Panda. Nicely done by the Croatian shot stopper. Trying to unleash forward Mohamed Baloomi. Baloomi had to just shy away from that ball as Burrows was coming in with maybe a little bit of a higher foot. Wasn't high and dangerous enough for the ref to blow up on. Panda's going to pick that ball up once again and unleash Miller this time on the left-hand side. So some nice work there from Ivo Panda to unleash the ball quickly twice to two opposite wingers. Something that we've rarely seen from Ivo Panda this season. And something he's been struggling a little bit. Benjamin Tete, that's it. Thank you very much, Dylan. Reminding me, Benjamin Tete, that's his name. Yeah, he got the red card at Bramall Lane a few seasons ago for that headbutt. Thanks for the reminder. I believe that headbutt was on Ollie McBurney. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe he tried to headbutt Ollie McBurney. I believe so. My memory serves me correctly. But anyway, times have changed. Tete not on the squad anymore. He's not been since the back end of that season, I believe. And Ollie McBurney has a tiger and flying high in City colours. Ball now with Lundstrom, Baloomi. Coming into the Sheffield United half, unleashing Miller on this left-hand side. City looking for another chance here. Miller inside of the box. Chopped out towards Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Looking over towards Louis Curl on that right-hand side. Coyle going to try a low-driven one in. Blocked there by McGuinness. And taken out of the equation by Sheffield United. Still waiting for that double change to be introduced here. And could very well be done so now. There'll be a solo change for Sheffield United first. As Peck's going to come off in replace of number 44, Riederwald. And then the double change for Hull City is going to be taking place now as well. We know that Joe Gelhardt and not Casey Palmer, he's at Luton on loan, and Kyle Joseph going to come on. Miller's going to be the one that comes off for Gelhardt. And then coming off is Mohamed Baloumi for Kyle Joseph. So both wingers are going to be changed. Baloumi presumably don't want to fully exhaust him. He's not long back after a bit of a lengthy injury sideline. Starting his second game since Boxing Day. Coming off after another impressive performance. Miller the same. So both wide men are changed. And in a bit of upsetting news, Southampton go 2-1 up. Of course, it doesn't matter because Hull City are winning. But that could put a bit of a spanner in the works now. Of course, Southampton still having a game in hand over Hull City. That's a problem for another day. And of course, that game's not over yet. Still got about 20 minutes on that game there. We've still got about 20 here at Bramall Lane. As the substitutes are now trying to make a bit of an influence on this game. Hull City do need to hold out. As I say, another goal be useful. Patrick Bamford just taken down there by Semi Ajayi breaking forwards. It's going to be a yellow card there for Semi Ajayi. Bamford just created a little bit of trouble there for Semi Ajayi. Ajayi did have the ball originally. But Bamford just glided round him. And then used his long limbs to get underneath Semi Ajayi. And went down to the deck very easily. And of course, with Semi Ajayi being somewhat of that last man, yellow card was brandished his way. So free kick now inside of the Hull City half. Nearly in that attacking third for Sheffield United. And Burrows and Harmer are going to stand over it as they have usually been doing. It's going to be Burrows to whip it in this time. Deep. Glancing header to send it behind by Crooks. Yeah. The referee eventually puts his arm out there. He was a bit tentative to do so. Even me up here, I thought it was a corner kick. Sheffield United will go quickly with it. Whipping it in. It's getting whipped in even more. Cleared out of the 6-yard box. Cleared again by Lundstrom. Ajayi and Lundstrom combined for the 2 clearances there. Thrown in now by Sheffield United. Harmer on it on this right-hand side. Into the box now for Sheffield United. Oh! And that's as close as you can come here for Sheffield United. Patrick Bamford inside of the 6-yard box. Gets a touch on it. And it just glances to the left of the post. I believe he was offside anyway. That's what the call's been now for Patrick Bamford. So the goal wouldn't have counted. That was a very close one there for Hull City. Ivo Panda to go long from the free kick off the back of that offside call. Ball unleashed now for Louis Carroll on that right-hand side. City committed quite a few players forwards off the back of that free kick from Ivo Panda. Kyle to Gelhardt. Back towards Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Towards Ajayi. Ajayi. Can't quite make a passing lane going forward. So let's go back towards Ivo Panda. Panda goes quickly snapping it forwards. The ref gets in the way a little bit of Lundstrom's passing lane. And now a red card for John Lundstrom. John Lundsham's brandished a red card on his return to Bramall Lane. I believe it may have been a second yellow on a foul. But I think the referee just needs to check himself a little bit there. Because the reason why Lundsham had to come in very harshly on the challenge was because the ref got in Lundsham's way when he was coming in for the ball. But anyway, it's a red card and Lundsham's off. I believe it was a second yellow red card. And once again, we see a Hull City red card away at Bramall Lane. John Lundsham on his return, second yellow red card. And he's just sent down the tunnel after giving a little word to the fourth official. Dear oh dear. City now down to 10 men battling through these remaining 15 minutes. Well, things are going to get even more tasty now, if they weren't already shaping up that way in this second half. So Sheffield United will be really battling hard to pull it back. Grab one, maybe even try and grab two. Hull City really can do without that. It's going to be out wide from Tanganga over towards Brooks. Brooks for Sheffield United sending it infield to McGuinness. Out wide to the left, Burrows whipping it in. Headed behind, but not quite there by Hull City. McBurney looking to go forwards on that right-hand side towards Joseph. Doesn't quite happen. Sheffield United will pull up with the ball. A very interesting final 14 and a bit minutes now for City as they're down to 10 men. Lundsham on his return to Bramall Lane. Face off against the former Sheffield United squad that he used to play for. I believe he left Sheffield United on a little bit of tasty terms. And the ref did give it a second yellow red card. And I believe he'd given a yellow card as well to Ollie McBurney in the heat of exchanges. Wow, wow, wow. As I say, things can change on a dime here. And it's going to be a very, very interesting final 13 or so minutes. Lundsham got a red, yeah. Second yellow red card. So it's going to be us without Lundsham now. For, I believe, one game. At least. So, not the end of the world. But certainly is a bit of a dodgy one considering we don't have a Regan Slater at the moment. City just have to battle hard to keep in this one here. 1-0 up, still off the back of that Ollie McBurney goal in the 5th minute. That bicycle kick that he nearly scored in that first half is looking even more tastier now that we're battling into these final 12 minutes. Really, really hoping that Hull City battle out hard here. Ball forwards, met by McBurney. Free kick McBurney got there as the arms were around him. So City finally getting something given their way by this referee. Not seen a lot given to Hull City point of view, that being. But he did see the arms wrapped around from Tanganga onto McBurney. So free kick here for City. Halfway side of the Sheffield United half. Amir and Gelhardt standing over it. Just in a little bit of sunlight now. Players stood in the shadow. Getting whipped in. Inside of the box now. Shallowly headed away by Sheffield United. Not completely cleared as Gelhardt's going to head it trying back into the mix. It's going to go down towards Burrows. Ajayi's not able to block that hoof ball forwards. And Sheffield United going to try and dink one forwards for themselves. Doesn't quite happen. Trying to unleash Ajayi down that right-hand side. Joseph comes charging through. Semi Ajayi in the box. Looks for McBurney on. That's blocked and saved by the keeper. And the resulting ball clearance by Sheffield United goes out for a throw-in. Well, Semir Jai getting up the field, tries to unleash one for McBurney. Maybe took a little bit long to release the ball to McBurney, allowing the keeper to get down to a good position. But still quite nicely done there by Semir Jai. So throwing now coming for Louis Curl on that far hand side. Throws it towards Gelhardt. Curl picks it up once again and deflects off Burrows to get another throw in for himself in a pretty much identical situation. Still 1-0 up. 10 minutes remain here at Bramall Lane. Curl's throwing does not do well. And Sheffield United pick the ball back up with their goalkeeper. He's going to try and unleash his players quite quickly. And they're going to go through their midfield now. Inside of City's half are Sheffield United. Burrows sending it out wide towards Chong. One-on-one with Gelhardt. Gelhardt swing at Chong. Doesn't quite make connection. Swung into the area. Few diving bodies for City. It's going to come back out there, though, for Sheffield United. Edge of the area. Swung in. Semir Jai headed away once again. No one there to pick it up for Hull City. So Sheffield United will pick it up themselves. McGuinness inside of the centre circle. Trying to get things going here for Sheffield United. McGuinness has had quite the game here. The tussle with Lundstrom. The clearance off the line for McBurney. So he's really denying them former Sheffield United players in this game. One more to get whipped into the box by Sheffield United. Headed again once away by Semir Jai. McBurney on this one. Battling hard to try and win it back off Chong. Doesn't do so as it goes towards Hammer. Hammer lays off towards Chong. And coming through is Louis Curl to slice that one out of play. So throw in now for Sheffield United over on that far hand side. It's into the box and it's headed behind there by John Egan. There's a stray shin pad on the field. Not sure that's come off. As the ball's whipped in. Harmer now to take this corner kick. There's a bit of a tussle inside of the box. Joseph's just down on the deck. He's going to get back to his feet. He's going to put his arms round one of the Sheffield United players. Thrown down to the floor. And a penalty! There's a late-minute penalty here at Bramall Lane. Another twist in the tail. I believe it was Joseph's arms round Riederwald. And there was a tussle down to the deck. Not sure who threw who down to the deck. Referee must have got a good eye into it. We'll see the replay. That should not be a penalty. Riederwald pushes Joseph. And also Tanganga pushes down Paddy McNair. That should not be a penalty. But the referee says it is. There's even more of a tussle coming in here between Hull City and Sheffield United players. Egan gets himself a yellow card for coming in on the situation. Tanganga's going to try and push him and say a few harsh words on his way out. Tanganga's trying to not let things go here. These Sheffield United players are awful. Yellow card here for Tanganga. And now attention turns to Ollie McBurney. Not Ollie McBurney. If he was between the sticks, that'd be a bit of a basket case, wouldn't it? But Ivo Panda. Gustavo Harmer is going to take the penalty here. Ivo Panda is going to come between the sticks. And with 7 minutes and a bit here to go, really hope Ivo Panda gets himself a yellow card. I think everyone in the City squad's got himself a yellow card in the second half. Tensions are really boiling over. Gustavo Harmer to take the penalty. Come on, Ivo Panda. Please save this. The win is desperately needed today. Harmer shoots and it's in the back of the net. Panda goes the wrong way. Harmer celebrates like he's just won the World Cup. And that's 1-1. Dear oh dear. Hull City are going to have to try and grab themselves another goal here if they want to come away with the win away at Bramall Lane. all things have changed up since that red card. Actually, all things have changed up since the little tussle and fight that we had between McGuinness and Lundstrom. Everything's switched and changed since then. It's going to be a late substitution here for Sheffield United. Coming off is McGuinness in replace of Danny Ings. Sheffield United going full throttle now to try and grab this game completely off Hull City. The Tigers have the kickoff here. 5 minutes plus remaining. There's probably going to be a decent bit of extra time here. But we've still got 5 minutes of regular time left. Amiha back to Ivo Panda. Panda lashing it forward towards McBurney. Forwards once again by United. Back and forth, back and forth. That's going to go out of touch. There's going to be a double change-up coming here for Hull City. Charlie Hughes is going to be reintroduced. He's going to come on for Ollie McBurney. Well, Hull City are really not wanting this one to slide away from themselves. And then another former Sheffield United man, that being Kieran Dowell. He's going to come on for, I believe, Amiha Zajmetrovic. So one former United player off, another on. McBurney, the goal scorer for Hull City, is off in replace of Charlie Hughes. Charlie Hughes! And then Amiha Zajmetrovic, the other man, off in replace of former Sheffield United player Kieran Dowell. Hoping for a bit of that Dowell magic. I really want some magic from this entire squad here. I say probably McBurney's off due to being on a yellow card. Rather than not being up for the challenge of these final 4+ minutes. Really don't want to be losing McBurney for another game after he's just found his scoring boots once again. Forward comes Sheffield United. Come on, City, hold it out. Chung over on that far hand side. Lays off Harmer. Harmer whips it over towards Tanganga. Tanganga down to this right hand side. Into the box now for Sheffield United. Chopped out by John Lundstrom. Please keep it as it is or score, Hull City. Do not let this slip away from us. Dear oh dear, this would be a monumental collapse if it does. Into the box. Danny Ings! Oh no! It's Danny Ings! Danny Ings just substituting a couple of minutes on the field. And he grabs what could be the winning goal for Sheffield United. Chris Wilder pumps his fists like he just saw the 90th minute winner down at the pub from the World Cup. And it's 2-1 Sheffield United. All things have changed up since that battle that we saw off the field. And Danny Ings, who was just narrowly onside, with his right foot, scores what could be the winner. 2+ minutes to go. City have a big hill to climb up now. They were leading from the 5th minute through to something like the 80th minute. Come on, City. Referee needs investigating. It's been a very, very dodgy refereeing performance. Sergei Kievich just sits down in a bit of frustrated admiration. Forwards now. Bamford inside of the penalty area. He's going to be pressured by Matt Crooks and Paddy McNair. Dowell comes sliding in for a challenge on a Sheffield United player. Out of touch. Hull City were winning in this game through 80 minutes. From the 5th minute to the 85th minute, they were leading. And we're now facing a very high possibility of walking away with absolutely nothing, which would be worst case scenario, considering that Southampton are currently winning themselves. So I believe that will put down Hull City to 6th place in the Championship table. Really, really not good. All things changed up though from that tussle. McGuinness on Egan. And let's see how many added minutes. I reckon there's going to be a fair few here through the commotions, plural, that we've had. Ball forwards. Egan down this left-hand side. Out of play. Throw in here for Sheffield United. 6 minutes. Come on, City. 6 minutes to try and find themselves an equaliser. Possibly a winner, but an equaliser is needed. A loss is ultimately worst case scenario. This point in the season, all things considering around us as well. We don't go away to Bramall Lane and lose on a day like today. That's not how we do things. We want to keep the momentum in our hands. Off the back of a brilliant result, a brilliant performance on Monday night. Hull City need to win or draw at least here. 6 minutes additional, one has already been played. Last minute sip from the Hull City mug glass to bring us some good luck. Charlie Hughes sends one over towards Louis Coyle. Forwards. Misguided, but it still finds its way to Kyle Joseph. Advantage played here for Hull City as he was taken down to the deck. Paddy McNair swapping it over towards that right-hand side to find Gelhardt. Coyle now has it. Towards Dowell. Gelhardt. Up that right-hand side. Getting it infield more. Gelhardt shoots from range. And that's high. No contest about it. Come on, City. Come on, City. If we lose this one, all things will be pointing to the fact that the former Sheffield United players undid it. All change from that McGuinness-Egan brawl. Sorry, McGuinness-Luncham, I believe it was. Brawl. And Luncham, of course, the man that got sent off later on his second yellow card of the game. It's going to be another yellow card dished out by the referee. I'm going to guess it's going to be to someone for Hull City. And it is! It's to someone on our bench, I believe one of the coaches. Because the referee just loves to give yellow cards. And appears red cards to Hull City. Well, I think the Sheffield United players have been a little bit more dirty in this one. It's been a true battle here, especially the second half. Deflected by Paddy McNair. Forwards there by City, looking to go over the top towards Kyle Joseph. Joseph forwards. Sends it in towards the box. Back is going Egan to Crooks to Coyle. Coyle shoots. That has nothing on it. And it's an easy save there for the Sheffield United keeper. 3 minutes remain here at Bramall Lane. Still 2-1. I don't think I've changed the scoreline, have I? Let me change the scoreline and hopefully that brings Hull City some luck. Change it up on the screen. Apologies, it's been 1-1 for a little bit past the goal. But I've changed it up now. Come on, City. It's Bamford charging forwards now for Sheffield United inside of the Hull City box. Shoots! Blocked there by Ivo Panda. Not completely out of trouble though. He's going to go behind for a corner. Burrows. He's going to pass it very slowly to Gustavo Harm, I think. Dear oh dear. Come on, City. They're just going to battle it in the corner. And that's what Sheffield United's going to do. Dear oh dear. Come on, City. Corner kick. And now it's just going to be really hard to battle for the next 2 minutes. There's 3 of them on that corner. And they're just going to hold it in the corner. Dowell picks up the ball. Can he do something with it? Tries to get it away. But it's going to be a free kick there for Sheffield United. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be a free kick there for Sheffield United. And they're going to take their sweet Mary Jane time with this one. The referee is as well. Ref's just helping wind down the clock there for Sheffield United. Sergey and Chris Wilder just exchanged a little sideways hug and a few words. Not sure if they were positive or negative. But nonetheless, all actions that on the field. Corner now once again for Sheffield United. Come on, City. 1 minute remain. This game's completely gone out of hand. Good ref, you're having a laugh. You certainly are. Dear oh dear. Throw in now for Sheffield United. Getting in field, Bamford. That's going out of play. Corner kick once again. This game's just going to finish with about consecutively of 10 corner kicks or something for Sheffield United. Oh dear, oh dear. And there's a free kick in there. How is this enjoyable football? Sheffield United, the proprietors in non-enjoyable football. Oh my God. Free kick, and that's probably going to be doing it. We've gone past the 96th minute. And just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle. Ball out of play. Ref coming over. Yellow card, Louis Coyle. Just to make sure. Good effort. I believe that everyone that's on the field now has had a yellow card. I mean, Matt Crooks, God forbid, might be the only one that's not got a yellow card on the field at the moment. Louis Coyle's just been given one for good measure. And there's full time. What a sham. What a disgrace. All sorts of negative words. 1-0 up for 80 minutes in this game. Lose it 2-1. Thanks to the tussle between Lundstrom and McGuinness. Then the red card to Lundstrom. Penalty that probably shouldn't have been a penalty. We're gossing over that. And then Danny Ings coming off the bench to grab the winner. Oh my God. I mean, we'll have a look at the table. Because Hull City are in 6th. We can't drop out of the playoff places tomorrow. Of course, Wrexham are currently in 7th, 4 points beneath us, do play tomorrow. But because they're 4 points beneath us, we cannot drop out of them playoff places. But it does mean things are a bit more interesting now coming into these final 4 games. Dear oh dear. Southampton now ahead of us. 1 point ahead of us on 69 points. Hull City on 68. And they've of course got a game in hand as well. Dear oh dear. Middlesbrough of course 1-0 down now. So they slide into 4th place. Oh Lord. I'm not even going to bother talking about that. That's... What words can be said? Jeez, oh jeez. Let's talk through the final scores from everywhere in the Championship, because everywhere's got final scores apart from the game for tomorrow. So yesterday it was 0-0 West Brom Millwall. The early kickoffs 0-0 QPR Bristol City. Also 0-0 Coventry Sheffield Wednesday. Ipswich won 2-0 on the road at Norwich City. Oxford United won a big 2-0 at home to Watford. Leicester City lost at home 1-0 to Swansea City. Stoke got a red card themselves in a 1-1 draw against Blackburn Rovers. Southampton 2, Derby County 1. That's the big upsetting one there. Portsmouth won 1-0 on the road at Middlesbrough. So that's another big one there in the playoff picture. Of course, the massive upsetting one on the day for us. Hull City down to 10 men, losing 2-1 to Sheffield United as they come back to win that one. And then the other score line elsewhere in the Championship, Preston 2-1 away at Charlton Athletic. Birmingham Wrexham, 12 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Hoping that Birmingham managed to pick up the win there. Because obviously Hull City could do without another team breathing tightly down their necks in Wrexham. It's all sorts of frustrating. All sorts of frustrating, that, isn't it? You don't even know where to look, do you? It all came undone from the McGuinness Lundstrom little tussle battle where McGuinness was giving it. He was the proprietor of it. He was the one that was pushing in on the incident. But in the end, Lundstrom comes off the worst of the situation because he gets a red card a few minutes later. Penalty that probably shouldn't have been a penalty. Goal. Second goal. Oh dear. It's really frustrating. It's even more frustrating to say that we had the game in hand. We were there 80 minutes. We were leading 1-0 in that one. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to have a fun reaction video to come out in about an hour or so. So stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to see that. Thank you very much to everyone who has been here on the channel. Everyone that's joined here on the stream, commented, reacted, all that sort of stuff that's been here throughout the entire game. Cheers to you all. Hope you have a lovely rest of your Saturday. At least it seems the sun's out. I can't even see... I can see one cloud in the sky. So I might get out and have myself a couple of beers to drown away the shocker that we've just seen closing out that one away at Bramall Lane. But it was a true battle at Bramall Lane to finish out. Hull City lose 2-1. So I'll see you in about an hour or so with the reaction video. So stay tuned on the channel by liking and subscribing to see that. And of course, we'll build through to try and make Hull City a bit more of a miraculous team, pushing through to try and get through to some sort of a playoff picture. They're still in the playoff places, but for how long, we will wait and see. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Up the Tigers.